Hi everyone, I am here to do my oral presentation for theology. Throughout this course, I have been able to observe and appreciate everything about nature. I have lived in Nebraska my whole life and have always been an outdoors person. Nebraska's gorgeous sunsets, back roads that go on for miles and miles, cornfields, and seasonal changes of the weather are unbeatable. Making time for oneself as one gets older can be quite challenging. I found that managing school, work, and a social life and family left me with little time for myself. After setting some time aside, making it a priority, I grew an appreciation for nature. Nature offered me a breath of fresh air and a sense of peace. I have chosen my grandparents' cabin out in Springfield, Nebraska as my regular place for contemplation. I chose this spot for several reasons, but the biggest reason is the alluring fresh air that gives me a calming feeling and how all of my worries go away when I am here. Now I am going to be talking about 3 of my visits while visiting my cabin out in Springfield. It is a bright and sunny day as can be here in Schmidt Park, and I am sitting in the sand at the lake just thinking about everything in life. I hear constant chatter behind me of the neighbors a couple down from us about how their kids want to go swimming, but it is too cold to go swimming. They eventually left. As they do, I decide to put my feet in the water for a little bit. It is definitely too cold to go swimming, but not too cold to put my feet in. As I am standing with my toes in the water, I can see the little fishes swimming along back and forth. I can just see the reflection of the sun just by glancing at the lake, and wow, I love it. After this very visit, I thought to myself how I would not mind living out in Springfield like my grandparents, because it's not the city and it's just a small town. Everyone knows each other in that town, but I also like that they aren't super far from the city if they need to go to the grocery store, fast food restaurant, whatever it is. There's only a few gas stations in town, a Runza, and a high school. It's nice that being in a small town, you don't constantly hear cars driving back and forth, and you always see a lot of face-to-face interaction with everyone who lives in this town. Cell phones play a huge role in today's society because technology has advanced so much from today to back then. When I am out here, I like to put my phone away and communicate with everyone in person. With that being said, I am always taking walks or riding on a bike out here, which limits transportation than driving a car. I am already helping the environment out a little, which is good. But the most important thing is we need cars nowadays because people may work super far or clear across town, and that's just how we get around now today. In some circumstances, our seasonal weather changes that we have in Nebraska give us some setbacks. When it is winter here, it is too cold or icy to be walking or riding your bike to get to where you need to be. This is when transportation of cars and buses come to good use. Another visit in October was today. It is Sunday and it is snowing here in Nebraska. I am sitting here while the snow falls from the cloudy sky, and all I can think is, how in the world is it snowing? It's too cold outside, and it is only October. By looking at the snow, it's probably going to melt and not stick to the ground, because it's not that cold outside. But my goodness, it looks so pretty coming down. My grandparents are here with me too, and we are just looking at the color of the leaves on the tree, and we are looking at them. As we are looking at them, we see a baby deer all alone. The deer just freezes, so I try to slowly walk up to it, and the closer I get, we just lock eyes, and it runs away from me. It was so relaxing to just watch the snow come down in October. I am not a huge fan of snow or winter in general, but I actually did not mind that it was snowing a little bit in October because I knew that it would not be snowing for long and that it wouldn't stick to the ground because it was warmer outside. We have a huge yard at the cabin, so it was neat to see all the snow come down and hang on the leaves of the trees, but drip with water too. In a matter of a couple of hours, the snow melts and the sun starts to come back out, making it even warmer outside. This relates to the quote because appreciating nature makes the meaning of life so much more valuable than it already is. Without all the things that nature has to offer, we wouldn't be able to see the seasonal changes in completely different times. Not every state in the U.S. gets to experience snow or winter at all, whereas in Nebraska we get to experience all of the seasons, which is awesome, and I feel very fortunate. Another visit is, it is drizzling a little bit here and there, but the sun is out today, so it should stop soon. I am just taking in the fresh air from outside and looking at everything around me today. The grass is super green, the leaves are changing colors from the last time that I was here. I see just a stunning rainbow above me from pouring rain earlier this morning. I noticed that our neighbor's cabin had trash all over in their yard, and the grass has not been cut for weeks and weeks, and it just looks like as I was speaking to my grandparents, I hear chattering from behind, and it was my neighbors. I thought maybe they're actually going to clean up everything, so we all just hang out and enjoy the nice view for the afternoon before we grill out steaks for dinner. Our neighbors left after a while and never cleaned up their trash all over the ground outside, like I thought they would, or even mow their long grass. My grandpa tells me that they have left, and that he could not believe that they didn't do a single thing. We decided to take it upon ourselves and fix up their mess. I cleaned up their trash everywhere while my grandpa mowed their grass with their riding lawnmower in the backyard. I used to push the mower in the front yard to get things done faster because it was about to get dark outside and we all needed to get home. After we got done with everything, I decided to leave a note on the door for them saying, "Please be respectful to others in your environment by cleaning up your trash everywhere and mowing your grass more often." I didn't state who the letter was from, and a couple weeks later they asked if they knew who had left the note, and I admitted that I did. We were both very nice about it, and they apologized and said that it would not happen again. So I just sure hope that they kept their word on that. Nature is just such a beautiful thing, and it is important that we take care of it in the best way possible. My grandparents are huge on recycling, saving, and anything that helps keeping the environment from things like global warming. It is important that we pick up our trash and our waste because it is a huge problem in our society even today. Some people think that, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just a wrapper that I am littering, but it is actually a big deal. Recycling should get more people to want to reuse products again, but not only that, if you recycle, you're receiving money from saving and helping our environment, which is a win-win overall if you do this. In conclusion, there are so many ways to live a healthy and clean environment. Always recycle what you can because we can reuse things. Save electricity if you can. Use natural things, etc. I could go on, but I think you get the hint here. I have come to realize that my brothers are the worst when it comes to saving electricity. They like to leave almost every light on in the house when totally not necessary for some odd reason. I always tell them you do not pay the electricity bill, so therefore you do not need to turn every light on in the house. And they look at me like I'm crazy because I do not pay for the bill either. Our mom paid for the bill, but I am all for saving what I can to help my mom and the environment. Every little thing that we can do to help our environment helps, and I wish that people could understand that more. It's a serious problem when people seem not to care about our environment, because not only is it not healthy for us as human beings, but plants and animals as well. I do like that our society today is trying to give up plastic straws because of how bad they are for animals in the ocean. I noticed that a couple weeks ago when I went to get a smoothie from the DSM cafe. They completely got rid of plastic straws, which I think is awesome. It is nice to see people actually trying to make a change, even if it's a little bit. Every little bit helps, believe it or not. Being at my grandparents' lake and cabin where I am most content with everything, I am fortunate that my grandparents have kept this family cabin since my mom and aunt were little kids and have decided to pass it on eventually down to the family because they are getting older. My entire family feels so at peace while down here, and we all love that we have a little getaway for the weekend to just enjoy a little break from the city. I love everything about nature, and I intend to do everything in my power to play my part in keeping our environment clean and healthy, and I hope that others can do the same. I've learned to not take everything for granted and be appreciative for everything that you have. It is our duty to protect our earth, plants, animals, and us as human beings. I used to think that, oh, littering is not such a big deal. It's just a little wrapper. But now I can tell you about 100 ways why it's not good for our earth. It's important that we educate ourselves the best we can because differences help in so many ways. Thank you.